The footage of pyramid-shaped UFOs may be relatively new to many of us, but actually pyramid UFO videos have been around for quite a while. In fact, our own George Knapp smuggled some pyramid UFO footage out of Russia several years ago. Let's go to Jessica and the man himself to talk about it. Jess?
Thanks, Josh. George, let's take a look at your pyramid video and you can tell me about it.
Okay.
So what have we got here?
This is a huge pyramid-shaped object, not triangle, but pyramid, that was shot in the skies over Latvia in 1968. It ended up in the Ministry of Defense. Russia's Ministry of Defense had giant files on UFOs that I tried to access in the early 90s. You might recall during the early 90s, glasnost, perestroika, that country was undergoing a lot of changes. And I thought, well, maybe there's a window of opportunity to find out what the Russians know about UFOs and also what the Americans know about UFOs from the Russians. And we went over there with the help of a Russian physicist who had government contacts. He put us in touch with Ministry of Defense officials, intelligence officials, and they told us about the biggest UFO study in history. It was a 10-year-long study. The whole Russian military was part of it. They collected tens of thousands of reports, including videos, and I was able to get some of that material, classified as it was, and bring it back.
Very interesting. I just wanted to zoom in on this a little bit so we can get a better view. Oh, let me do that again. No, my Zoom's not working. Anyway, so how did you manage to smuggle this out of Russia?
I think I'm going to be vague about that because someday I might want to go back to Russia.
Nice.
But it was, yeah, it was a very tense moment. I'll just put it that way. But they considered this to be a genuine UFO because of some of the characteristics about how it flew, even though we don't see it in this film clip. But it was part of a gigantic cache of information that the Ministry of Defense collected over a 10-year period.
And so how long ago was this particular footage
That's
taken?
1968, Latvia, which was sort of part of the USSR back then. The USSR crumbled, of course, and the Russians took over, but that was in their files.
So obviously there's been video documentation of pyramid-shaped UFOs for over 50 years. Why do you think people are only really talking and paying attention about it now?
It's kind of a combination of events. You know, there's always something more important in your life, the economy, your family, whatever, politics. And now we've had such an